When we're in that state of receptivity, we're in a state of allowing. And those fearful parts of us are controlling. They don't like to allow. So as more comes in and we attract more into our life and we manifest more into our life, the storyline of who am I to have this, who am I to create this, who am I to be this is going to be loud. Big show today, guys.
Happy to be with you.
Gabrielle Bernstein, a role model for a new generation of spiritual seekers.
Here we go. Bring on our first guest of the show today. I'm ready for my first Dear Gabby today.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Your name is Celeste?
Yes, Celeste. Hi. It's funny because last time for the very first time I spoke to you was last summer when I had just started listening to Dear Gabby.
I was going to say I recognize you, and I'm like, was it recently? Was it on the Instagram show? It was in the summertime. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah, it was
recognize your
like
beautiful face. Nice to see you
Thank
again,
you.
Celeste.
Likewise. Well, I have two very quick points. I just wanted to thank you so much. You gifted me Super Attractor, and it has absolutely changed my life. Legitimately, it's been so amazing. My life is totally different. It's been almost a year since we spoke, and so much has shifted. I made so many really amazing shifts internally, and subsequently externally. Now I'm like living my dream job. I'm doing so many things that I never thought I was going to do. So thank you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
I want you to thank yourself because I always, you've been listening, but I always say that you do the work. I could give you the book, but you could have just ignored it. You could have not read it. You could have left it on the shelf. You read it. You did the work. You practice it. Now you're living a super attractor life. Thank yourself. I'm going to take the gratitude, and I'll appreciate all the gratitude you're sending my way. But you did the work. You did the work.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. So I guess the follow-up thing is that now that I'm living all this stuff that I've always wanted, the kind of oldie but goodie that's been coming up is the resistance to things being good.
Of course.
And I start to like expect okay, when's the other shoe gonna drop, or like what's gonna happen. So I was curious to know what you suggest, what you want to say in terms of that, of just like of not resisting things when they actually do show up and when they come.
Celeste, what an amazing full circle moment we're having right now. I just want to acknowledge how the universe works to bring you randomly back on the show almost a year later after you started your super attractor journey, became the super attractor that you are, started attracting like crazy, which is just what's going to happen. It is the law. It's what happens when you start to go down that path. And then to come back now and say, okay, I have a very abundant problem, which is that I'm afraid of my greatness. And it's a common thing that happens when we start to attract a lot into our life, when we start to receive the blessings back to us because they are merely a reflection of who we are. Our ego, our fear parts, the parts of us that are protector parts, the parts of us that are afraid of believing that everything can be okay, really come up loud. They come up loud. The resistor parts. And those resistor parts have had a role because they've minimized our potential greatness so that we could, I'm making air quotes right now, so that we could play safe, right? So we could feel safe. Because it sometimes feels safer to be in chaos than it does to be in the magnitude of who we are. Or it feels safe to be in fear than it sometimes does to feel like we're super attractors. Because the magnitude of what it is that we are capable of is so big, and it is so surrendered, truly. Because when we're in that state of receptivity, we're in a state of allowing. And those fearful parts of us are controlling. They don't like to allow. So as more comes in and we attract more into our life and we manifest more into our life, the storyline of who am I to have this, who am I to create this, who am I to be this is going to be loud. And so what I want you to start to do is, instead of trying to shut that voice down, I want you to get curious about it. What is that voice trying to say to you? Is it just trying to say, this is scary because it's so exciting. There's so much there. I'm afraid to lose it. What is it revealing to you? Because it's important to acknowledge the voice of that protector, because it's showing up for a reason, right? It's showing up right now in this moment because there's still some resistance to your super attractor power. You with me on that, Celeste?
Yeah.
And there's still a part of you that doesn't believe that this is possible. There's a part of you that doesn't believe that you're worthy of feeling good. There's a part of you that doesn't believe that it's sustainable. So that's when we get curious, instead of saying, screw that voice, I'm going to push it away and I'm going to trudge forward with the belief that I am great. And we could do all that. I could do all that with you. I'd much rather you get curious, because the way to live a super attractor life is to continue to shine the crystal that is you. And that means that when things get good, we take our personal growth and spiritual practice to the next level. We go deeper, we go further. We shine the crystal. Because every benchmark is going to reveal more that we can heal. And that's beautiful. That's great. We're here for personal growth. We're here for and does it get easier? 100%, 100,000%. Do the personal growth moments go by faster, and are they more fun, and are they more fulfilling? Yes, it just gets easier and easier and easier. But it's not like we're here in this lifetime, in this physical body, to experience the opportunity of getting closer to consciousness and getting closer to the presence of love within us, and to start to live and lead from that place of love. And the undoing of all the fear stories happens when we read a book like Super Attractor and apply it. And then more fear stories can start to show up. And so what do we have to do? We have to go back to the book. We have to go back to the practices that work. We have to go back to the therapy. We have to go back to the Dear Gabby episodes. We have to go back to the meditation, whatever it is. When things get good, work more. That's what they say in the 12 steps. When your life gets good, work your program more, because you don't want to forget where you started. It's very easy to revert back to old stuff. So right now, I want you to just be curious about what this resistance is trying to show you. There's more to be revealed. There's more healing to be done. There's still a part of you that doesn't believe you're worthy of feeling good. There's still a part of you that doesn't believe that the universe has your back. There's still a part of you that doesn't believe that you are a super attractor, even though it's all freaking unfolding. So I want you to, with so much gratitude, grace, and ease, get curious about what that thought is. Ask it some questions. Okay, well, what do I need to heal? What is it about that you're revealing to me that I still need to work on? Say thank you. Thank you, voice of fear, for revealing to me there's a little bit more for me to undo. There's more for me to work on. Have you read The Universe Has Your Back?
Not yet, no.
Okay, that's the next book I'm going to send you. So perfect. And I'll talk to you in a year. Because that book is about transforming fear into faith. So sweetheart, you got your super attractor mojo on. You can work it. You are a magnet. The little voice of fear is coming back up. So it's perfect. I often say read Universe, then Super Attractor. But in this case, girlfriend, what a perfect moment in time. That's your next book. And go transform that fear into faith, because we are super attractors. We can follow a book like Super Attractor, remember that power, and then the voice of fear can still come up. And the next step is to be in curious conversation with that resistance, ask it what it wants to reveal, and bring it to our practice. Bring it to our practice in whatever form that comes, whether it's now you reading The Universe Has Your Back, or somebody going to a therapy session, or somebody doing their own personal growth work, or a spiritual practice, whatever it is. But being in the curious dialogue of what our resistance is revealing to us. I really do want to emphasize, though, that while we're always continuing to work on ourselves and grow spiritually and grow in our personal growth, It does get easier. It gets easier every step of the way. It becomes more fun. And you're seeing it right now. Like this next phase, when I saw you a year ago, you were struggling. And right now you're just like, okay, there's some resistance. Okay, got a little more work to do. Move into the next phase now. It gets easier. And it gets easier and it gets easier and it gets easier. And so just embrace that completely. And that's the thing also. It's like we don't have to resist our resistance. Just welcome it. Okay, there you are. Let's take it to the next level. What do you want me to learn? What do you want me to do to grow? It's a beautiful way to live.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Gabby. Thank you.
Thank you, gorgeous.
Truly.
Thank you. It's really good to see you again. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, sweetie. Bye. Awesome. Let's take a few more Dear Gabbies today. And what's up, man?
Hey, Gabby, how are you? I actually met you at Kripalu back in 2016.
I know who you are. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to update you on a lot of things that happened. So it was actually because of you, my mom, and our relationship is absolutely amazing. She has turned into my best friend. And every time we talk about, our relationship with other people, because, as a transgender individual, people always ask me like, well, how is it with your mom? And I said, well, it's because of Gabby that my mom and my relationship has been healed. So
Wow.
So I want to thank you for that, because now my mom is my best friend and an absolute blessing in my life.
I remember the day that we workshopped with you and your mom, and God, the miracle and the love that came through that day.
Yeah.
And again, I may have been the facilitator to hold the space for you guys to do that, but it was your bravery to do that work that allowed you to be where you are right now. I'm so proud of you guys.
It's been really awesome. And since then, one of the manifestations that I was doing about the universe has your back at the time, I think I discussed with you that I was trying to get into my PhD for psychology. And I ended up getting in that year.
Yep.
And but I denied it due to financial costs, which was my own personal decision. And, I said to myself, the universe has my back. So currently moved out into Boston doing business. And I actually just did your 21-day manifestation in January with my mom. My mom and I joined together, and I manifested becoming a fitness coach. And now my own fitness coach is pulling me on board with his team as a fitness coach with him. And so everything's just been really, really good. And I just wanted to thank you for all of that, and just send my best regards back to you.
Sweetheart, I'm so proud of you. And I'm so proud of you for making big decisions on your own behalf and advocating for yourself when it came to your schooling and your finances and just showing up in the way that you did. And most importantly, I'm just proud of you for bringing so much joy to everything that you're doing, because that's what it means to know that the universe has your back, to just be in that presence of joy and appreciation and just showing up with that attitude and knowing that when you're in that attitude, everything you need will be revealed to you.
Yeah. It's been quite the journey. And, I've been speaking out a lot about my own transition and where I've come from, because, as much of an outspoken person as I was before when you first met me, I did not look like this. And
you look really good. You look so hot. You look awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Sorry,
well,
I shouldn't be telling people they look hot on my show, but I gotta watch myself these days. But you look beautiful.
You said the same thing on stage. I remember you being like, man, I was looking at you in the front row and I was like, damn, he's hot. And everyone was like, yeah, he is.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Well, thank you. I guess, one thing that I thought that I'd come to you and question about, which I know what your answer is going to be anyway, but
I hope you're enjoying this show. And if you want to get more Gabby, you can click the link below, subscribe to my Dear Gabby podcast on Apple, be the first to know when the episodes drop because they come out 1 week before the video. And you can download it to your phone, listen to it while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're working out. You can just get more Gabby wherever you are. And if you feel called, leave a review. I'd love to hear from you. Now let's get back to this episode.
My girlfriend and I, she's also working from home right next to me. I got into this business job and my boss is absolutely horrible to me, which it's like, you know what, I keep telling myself, like, this is a stepping stone, this is a life lesson, like I'm here for a reason. And how do I overcome this? And, you know, I keep telling myself to just release it, you know, try to love who she is as a person, but she makes it really hard to love her as
Okay.
an individual. So
Okay.
I guess I'm looking for guidance in regards to that as I
Yeah,
step
I'd
into my next
love to talk
dreams.
about that. Yeah. So our card today was about my genuine desire to serve clears the path for me to step into my purpose. So our purpose is to be love. Our purpose is to dwell in the energy of love. Our purpose is to bring inspiration to everything that we do. And that's hard when you got a boss that's an asshole, right? It's hard to stay aligned in your purpose. So what is the greatest way that you could bring service to this relationship and to this situation? It's not by being perfect. I'm going to tell you, babe, it's not by being perfect. It's not by doing the job perfectly, though you want to show up at your best, right? It's by serving her through prayer. When someone's pissing you off, pray for them. Any boss who has the capacity to be an a-hole to you is having some trouble in their own life.
Right.
I know that because at times when I was a difficult person for my team to work for, I was struggling. I was going through trauma. I was recovering from my own PTSD. You know, so whenever you're in a position of perceived power, you're gonna unconsciously or consciously take your own shit out on the people that are working for you by accident sometimes, and sometimes consciously. And so the bottom line is she's suffering. She's suffering. And your job in the service of her and in the service of the highest good is to pray for her, is to show up every day, seeing her in her suffering and just acknowledging that only a happy person couldn't act like that.
Right.
And just say a prayer. I pray for you to have everything that I want for myself. I pray for you to have the peace of mind that I want for myself. I pray for you to have the joy and the amazing relationships that I have in my own life. I pray for you to have the attitude that I have about my own life. I pray for you to have the belief that the universe has your back. It's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way to serve her properly. And it's the only way to serve yourself in this situation, which is to get yourself out of that protector mode, out of that defensive mode, and just into a place of recognizing she's suffering. I'm going to, be mad. Most of the time I'll be pissed off by her actions. And as quickly as I can remember that I can say a prayer for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I will continue to do the practices with that because I do that. I've got all my stones and I'm always like, I pray for you. I'm releasing your energy, but she is a tough one. That is for sure. So I will continue those practices. And just one more thing. I have a friend who's from Armenia, and her family is very religious, and she just recently came out as bisexual. And she has not told her family yet. And I sent her your book, The Universe Has Your Back. And that also changed her life completely because she was beating herself up for that too. So just know that you're having a greater impact on people years and years later.
I adore you. I take that and I appreciate that. And I want to remind you that there's no greater person than you to help her at this time. You are the guru here, baby.
She calls me that. She's like, you're my spiritual guru, Bray.
You are, Bray, because you've been through this, you've lived this. You're going to support many people coming out in whatever form, whether it's coming out through a transition or coming out through their sexuality. You are a leader here, and I am just deeply proud of you. And thank you for giving voice to this on the show, because we have a lot of gay, lesbian, transgender listeners that I think all deserve to hear your story and also hear how you and your mom were able to come together in the way that you have through a lot of beautiful love and just connection to the presence of love within each of you. And I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you very much. Well, it was great talking to you. I will let somebody else come on, but I just wanted to say hello and that my mother and I missed you this summer at Kripalu, but we'll see you again.
I promise I'll be back. I promise we'll be in person again. Right now, we'll be here on the podcast. We're together here, and I love you, and I'm proud of you. Give your mom a hug for me, please. Okay.
I will. Love you too, Gabby.
Love you, sweetheart. Good to see your face. Beautiful. I love him. If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.